Hi everyone, so my name is Junwei, and in this video itself, I'm going to share with you what is this therapy about, does it work, and if I stay through this therapy with you, what would the end result look like, and what are the details of this research, and importantly, who am I, who are you, okay? So what is this therapy about? This therapy is to help Malaysian LGBT adults to reconcile with their rejecting parents. Okay. So as an LGBT adult, you may ask, why should I torture myself and my parents again? I come out to them and then they go through this hardship, right? So why should I torture myself? Why should I torture my parents again? So you come out to your parents because you want to get closer with them, right? But then somehow it's not working out the way you want it to, right? So I'm here to help you to achieve that. And if you are a parent looking at this, you may be thinking, oh, so will you try me to force me and accept my child as LGB? No. Okay. So you have a good intention for your child, but then that is often misunderstood, right? You have a good intention, but somehow it's not going across to your child, right? And I'm here to make a difference. So does this therapy work? So I'm really offering this top quality, culturally sensitive therapy. Okay, this is not anti-promise, but this is really because this is based on this therapy is built based on past research that has successfully helped more than 40 LGBTQ adults to reconcile with their persistently rejecting parents. Now, what do I mean by persistently rejecting parents? These parents, no matter what their child do, no matter what their child do, these parents are simply not willing to reconcile with their LGBT adult. Okay, but this therapy was able to help these parents who have been rejecting their child for at least 5 years and above, to come back together. Okay, so this is based on past research that worked. Also, I'm incorporating latest research insight of what worked. Okay, and not only that, this therapy that I'm offering, I also get Malaysian LGBT adult, Malaysian NGO staff, Malaysian counselor, Malaysian family therapists, but also experts from Australia to help me look at this therapy, to make sure that I'm offering top quality service that at the same time also take into account the kind of cultural complexity in Malaysia. Okay? Now, FAQ. So you may be wondering, wow, so will you try to convert my religious belief, No, okay. Over here, no. I can tell you straight up, no. You can hold on to values that are important to you, okay? While at the same time, okay, at the same time, make peace with your child. It's not like, if my religion is against LGBT, then I cannot have this children. No, we are able to find a balance between you holding this value that is very important to you, at the same time, make peace with your child. Based on past research, this is possible. Okay, this is not an either or situation. It's a and, okay, and kind of situation. Okay, and if you're wondering, is this a conversion therapy? No, conversion therapy is fake science. Okay, my therapy here is aiming to repair parent-child relationship and help you have more productive conversation about being LGBT. Okay, so what would the end result look like if you be in this therapy with me? Okay, so through this therapy, what you're going to learn is evidence-based parenting decision on your LGBT child. Okay, so based on past research, what we have learned is that what we call rejecting behaviors from parents. Rejecting behaviors, it basically harm the child's mental health. Many parents don't know that. Okay, they think that if I engage in this way, then my child will change. I get to protect my child. Okay, not quite that case. Okay, so there is a lot of complexity around this. And in this family therapy with me, you get to learn exactly what is the research guided way, okay, of what work in doing this parenting decision with your LGBT child, right? Because you're still the parent. And how do you manage the fact, or how do you bring up your child now that your child is LGBT, right? So what kind of changes do you need to make to adjust to that, right? So if I ask you, oh, don't engage in parental rejection behavior, then you'll be thinking, then what do I do? Right? So what can you do differently? So through this family therapy, I'm going to teach you, what you can do differently, how to do it differently, and what difference will it make. So when I take away something from you, I will be giving you something, right? So that is evidence-based parenting decision. Okay, next. So learn about what is LGB and what LGB is not. Okay, so so you may be thinking, wow, so you talk about all this, right? So you are just, trying to force me to accept my child is LGB, tell me that, oh, LGB is fine, just live with it, right? Okay, see, if I can achieve anything at all from this therapy, my main goal is to reduce parental rejection. Okay, so that is my main goal. I put it up front, straight out to you that this is about reducing parental rejection. That is the most important goal that I want to achieve. Okay, why? Because that is the key factor that we learn from research that affect the child's mental health. By mental health, I'm talking about things like depression, anxiety, substance abuse, drug abuse, alcohol use, all right, and PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, that kind of thing. Okay. So if you are willing to accept your child as LGB, sure, go ahead, right? But if parental rejection is bad, then what should I do as a parent, right? So through this therapy itself, I'm going to dive deeper with you, about what is LGB and what LGB is not. So you can search online, Google, right? There are lots of information about LGB, right? Maybe you have also seen some or you hear some from all those uncle, auntie, your friends, right? Okay, but see, they are not scholars, right? They are not people who are experts studying in LGB, right? Then if whatever they say is true, right? Then we don't need doctor lah, right? We can just listen to what my grandmother say about what is healthy, what is not healthy, and then then they can be doctor lah. So whatever you receive about LGB, right, is usually said by some auntie, uncle, or some random people, right? Have they ever studied about LGB? No. But LGBT is my specialization, okay? My bachelor degree, my master degree, and my PhD degree are all studying about LGBT, okay? So I'll share with you about what is LGB and what LGB is not. Okay, next. So many parents, they actually cope alone with the fact that their child is LGB, right? LGB is often associated with lots of stigma, and also, it confronts the parents because, when your religion disapprove of it, wow, that is scary, right? So how do I live with the fact, or how do I understand, how do I make sense of my child being LGB, this kind of messy stuff, right? So instead of having to grapple with all this information alone and then try to cope with it, and usually, it's not going to work well, right? Because you are basically just just pushing it outside of your awareness, trying to ignore that information. But I know it's not working out well, right? So through this therapy itself, I will help you with processing the information that your child is LGB. Okay, you don't have to do it alone, and I am here to accompany you in this journey. Whether you want to accept your child or not, as LGBT, that is a different story. Okay, once again, I don't care so much about whether you accept your child as LGB. The most important thing that I want to achieve, reduce parental rejection, and I'll show you what are the evidence-based parenting decision. Okay, because that is what going to make the difference. Okay, next. So instead of not talking to each other or quickly getting into heated debate or conversation with each other, right? Through this therapy, you will get to build closer and stronger parent-child relationship. So how does that sound to you? If you don't have to tiptoes around one another, and instead you get to think about, let's say, how can I make my parents' life even better, right? Or as a parent, how can I make my life and my child's life to be even better, that we grow together? So isn't that a lot of parents' dream, So think about it. When you first have your child, right? When you first bear your child, what do you imagine your life would be? You want a life that you build a better quality of life and all of you grow together. Is that right? Right? So it's about having a closer relationship with your child and build quality life together. And here we can make a difference. All right, we get to make a difference here. Okay, I can't promise oh, if you go through this therapy, you'll get all this. No, I can't promise that. Okay, because nothing in this world is guaranteed 100%. You buy this, you get all the thing. No, right? It's also depending on how much you're willing to invest in this therapy with me. I'm ready to provide, and depends on how ready you are to to also process this information with me, lah, right? Because if you come in and then you just sit quiet there, then I can help you also, right? Okay. Okay, next, coming to the fifth point, yeah, have better mental health. So it's a mental torture for many people, worrying, oh, my child is LGB, or as an LGB adult yourself, right? It's a torture when you don't get to have a closer relationship with your parents, right? Because that was the initial reason, right? You come out to your parents. Why? It's actually because you want to have a closer relationship with your parents. Think about it, right? Because by right, you don't have to come out to your parents, right? You can just keep quiet for the entire life, just bluffing them and all that. But you come out to them for a reason. And that is because you want to get closer with them, right? But somehow it's not working out. So through this therapy, as an LGBT child, all right, or as an parent of an LGBT child, you get to have better mental health. Okay, why is it so? Because when there is this high conflict in your family, right, it will drain your emotional energy. And if you all don't have to hold all this energy just to defend yourself against one another, you get to attend all this holiday and festive seasons, you get to spend your time together, enjoy each other's presence. Does that attract you? Right? So you don't have to, keep on engaging in this kind of, trying to defend yourself and then trying to pin your child down, get them to listen at you. So far, it's not working well, right? So that comes to the point 6. Learn how to communicate effectively without arguing. Okay? So coming back to how you all get into conflict in the first place. Usually what happens is that the way of communication, okay, if you all get to understand this, then I think we counselors we run out of job, but just try to understand this. So usually why people get into this kind of stuck, right? We call it a stuck way of pattern, right? This communication, no matter what kind of content it is about, right? You always get very heated, right? The argument gets very heated very quickly. And for some reason, the communication is always failing, okay? Now, if communication can be fixed just by hearing, these few minutes that you are listening at this video, then counselors will run out of job, okay? But through this therapy, we will learn to identify where the problem begins to show up. Why is it showing up and at this specific place, yeah? And very importantly, how can we have a more effective communication? Right? Why do you talk? Why do you try to argue with each other? Right? Because you want to get your point across, right? Just that so far it's not working well. And I'm going to help you to achieve that, right? Have more effective communication. You don't have to argue. There is a way to bring it across, okay? Now, what are the details of this research? All right, so this is free, only for 6 families, okay? I'm only recruiting 6 families. Where is it at? So it will be offline, face-to-face in KL or PJ area, okay? I do have my own site where I provide this therapy. So when is the deadline to sign up? The deadline to sign up is before October 15, 2023. Okay. And then when do I start to offer this therapy? So I offer this therapy anywhere between August 2023 to March 2024. So let's say you sign up in September. All right. Then your therapy will start in September. Okay. And then how long will you be in this therapy with me? So if you stay through, we are looking at about once a week, the kind of schedule, about 3 to 4 months, then that's it. We can make a difference, okay? Okay, so what's the catch here, why are you offering this for free or real or not, okay? So this is part of my PhD study at Hong Kong U, okay? At University of Hong Kong, this is part of my PhD research. That's why it is offered for free, okay? So in return, what do you need to do? After each session, you will need to fill in some questionnaire. All right, this questionnaire, what are these questionnaire about? It's about your mental health, right? Let's say your level of depression, from your first session to the last session, I want to see, after every session, I want to see, is there any changes at all? If no, then like that, right? So if there is changes, then I know, okay, so when I do this thing, then this, let's say this depression level goes down, right? So we know what to do, okay? Next, I will also need to interview you at our very last session, all right? So if I interview at our very last session, what is it about? So I'm going to ask you questions like, so what was your experience like being in this therapy? Which part that you like, which part that you don't like? which part that you find it working, which part that you don't find it working. That kind of interview. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, you have talked so many things, right? So who are you? Okay, so this is my qualification. So my bachelor degree is in psychology. Okay, then I have my master's in counseling. And then right now I'm because I graduated as the top student in my bachelor degree and my master's degree, so I'm offered a full scholarship to study my PhD at University of Hong Kong. I'm in Hong Kong right now. You're seeing me. This is my Hong Kong room, okay? Small room. Okay. So and my bachelor degree, master degree, and PhD degree are all studying about LGBTQ. Okay. And my research has been published in internationally respected journals. Okay. Okay, and also I am a licensed counselor in Malaysia, okay, with Lembaga Counselor Malaysia. And I specialize in working with LGBTQ people, right, in Malaysia, and I have experience working abroad with LGBTQ people as well. And recently, I'm also invited as the keynote speaker for a virtual conference in the US for this American Counseling Association. Okay, so if you like what you are seeing and you are interested to receive this therapy, and I think with very high chance, yeah, we can make a difference. Why? If Diamond and Diamond's research work, okay, help more than 40 LGBTQ families to reconcile, right? I'm adding even more things, and then I'm also contextualizing it for the Malaysian context, right? So I believe with high chance that this therapy is going to work out. Okay, so if you're interested and if you like what you see and you're interested in it, please sign up here, scan the QR code, and I'll see you soon.